Hey guys, let's get more news from Dallas Cowboys, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Cowboys land former $45 million starter amid roster moves, report. The Dallas Cowboys are signing former New York Jets starting pass rusher Carl Lawson. Dallas has been searching for answers at the position after losing Sam Williams to a season-ending ACL injury. Dallas also signed veteran offensive lineman Cole Cabral and released defensive end Shaka Toney. The Cowboys traded for former New York Giants defensive tackle Jordan Phillips. It has been a busy 24 hours at the Star. The Cowboys are signing veteran D. Carl Lawson, per sources, NFL Network's Tom Pelissero tweeted on August 15. More reinforcements for Dallas, which also traded for DT Jordan Phillips. Lawson has 27 career sacks. Lawson was among 4 veteran pass rushers whom Dallas hosted for an August 1 workout. The veteran was previously on a 3-year, $45 million contract with the Jets. After starting all 17 games in 2022, Lawson played in just 6 games in 2023, notching 5 tackles. Lawson posted 7 sacks, 33 tackles, 24 quarterback hits and 9 tackles for loss in 2022. There have been a lot of flirtations on both sides, but the deal finally gets done. Lawson missed a good portion of training camp, and it will be interesting to see how quickly he can get caught up on the Dallas defense. Prior to joining the Jets, Lawson spent his first 4 years as a key part of the Cincinnati Bengals rotation. Before the move, The Athletic's John Machota projected the following defensive linemen would make the final 53-man roster: Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, Marshawn Kneeland, Osa Odigizua, Motzie Smith, Justin Rogers, Carl Davis, Chauncey Golston and Viliami Fehoko. Machota predicted the Cowboys may make an additional move at the position, and Dallas made 2 by adding both Phillips and Davis. Additionally, Lawson's presence likely means one of these players will not make the final roster. "We're going a little light here to keep an extra defensive back," Machota wrote in an August 7, 2024, story titled Cowboys 53-man roster projection, how things look entering first preseason game. The Sam Williams injury obviously changes things. That might mean a spot for Darrell Johnson, Tyrus Wheat, Shaka Toney or Al-Quadin Muhammad. It also could mean that Dallas adds a veteran defensive end after teams trim to 53. A trade for a defensive end or defensive tackle should both be on the table. This group on paper certainly isn't as strong as it was last year, and Parsons is going to play more off-the-ball linebacker. Not only do the Cowboys need pass rush help, but it sounds like Lawson could benefit from a fresh start. Injuries derailed Lawson's 2023 season and he fell out of the team's rotation, even when healthy. The 2023 campaign was a washout. Lawson missed most of the preseason due to a back injury and lost his starting job to second-year defensive end Jermaine Johnson, ESPN's Todd Archer detailed in an August 15 story. By the time he was healthy enough to play, Lawson had been removed from the defensive line rotation, reducing him to spot duty and causing frustration. He was a healthy scratch for 11 games and declined media requests late in the season. "I'm a football player, not a cheerleader," he said at midseason. Cowboys must part ways with young T once and for all after latest injury. There was a lot to be learned from the Dallas Cowboys preseason opener. It became apparent throughout the game that the Cowboys has legitimate depth at linebacker and in the secondary. The defense came away with 4 interceptions even though Trayvon Diggs, Darren Bland, Jordan Lewis, Malik Hooker and Donovan Wilson didn't see the field. On the offensive side of the ball, the wide receiver and tight end competitions have ramped up. Training camp standout Jalen Cropper was awesome yet again. Mike McCarthy will have a tough time omitting Cropper from the 53-man roster. Fortunately for McCarthy, some decisions will be easier than others. Choosing which tight ends to keep got a lot easier after Sunday's exhibition. While nobody was spectacular in the game, third-year pro Peyton Hendershot was sidelined with a shoulder injury. The injury kept Hendershot out of last week's joint practice against the Rams as well, so he has missed valuable live game reps to prove he deserves a spot on the roster. Roster cutdowns are unfair to some players who perform at a high level throughout camp and preseason. Injuries, though, can be fatal to a player's roster chances. With Hendershot firmly on the roster bubble, he needs to not only make a swift recovery but also play out of his skin over the next 2 weeks to make the team. 5 tight ends played against the Rams in Hendershot's absence. Racey McMath and Brevin Spanford led the way with 26 and 23 snaps, respectively. Not far behind was Princeton Fant with 19 snaps, followed by Luke Schoonmaker, 18 snaps, and John Stevens Jr., 17 snaps. That isn't to say Hendershot is behind all of them on the depth chart. Racey McMath had 2 drops Sunday, so it's a foregone conclusion that he'll be cut. Fant, however, is a favorite of the coaching staff who was trusted to play 30 snaps on special teams last year in the 2 games he was active. In fact, David Moore of the Dallas Morning News had Fant making the team in his latest 53-man roster projection, subscription required. In addition, the Cowboys gave Spanford some of the most guaranteed money of any undrafted free agent. Spanford has a towering frame and is a mauler of a blocker. He could use a year on the practice squad, which may leave the door ajar for Hendershot. It is also possible that Spanford makes the team as the 4th tight end. It may ultimately be John Stevens Jr. who keeps Hendershot off the roster. Stevens finished second on the team Sunday with 3 catches. More importantly, he looked healthy and sure of himself after a torn ACL wiped out his rookie year. This is all conjecture. It will ultimately come down to the health of the room and how many tight ends the Cowboys want to keep. If Hendershot can't get back on the field soon, though, it may be inevitable that he gets cut if it isn't already. Cowboys get bad news on Ceedee Lamb contract talks. Lamb has been holding out for a new contract, and there have been plenty of twists and turns along the way. While there is optimism that a deal will eventually be reached before the Cowboys take the field for Week 1, the sides still have work to do, per Clarence E. Hill Jr. of the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. There is no doubt that a deal will get done. But a contract extension is not close to being completed, Hill wrote on Wednesday, August 14. Lamb is seeking an extension that will put him on par with some of the top receivers in the league. Minnesota Vikings receiver Justin Jefferson is currently the highest-paid non-quarterback, hauling in $35 million per year. Lamb will likely not meet or surpass that, but the Cowboys haven't offered a number to his liking yet. And there are other moving parts, per Hill. Lamb is not necessarily asking to top Jefferson. Vice President Stephen Jones has acknowledged that much, Hill said. But, per a source, the Cowboys remain a few blocks away, with their best offer not yet at $33 million annually. There is more to getting a deal done than that, as cash flow and structure are part of the process. Cowboys let Ceedee Lamb know he's missed. Lamb has missed all of training camp and the Cowboys' first preseason game, which he likely would not have played in. He's incurred fines of over $1 million, but the team can rescind those once they reach a deal. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones created a stir when he said that he had no urgency to reach a resolution with Lamb. That didn't sit well with Lamb, who responded LOL on social media and removed the Cowboys from his social handles. Jones clarified his stance on Lamb prior to the Cowboys' preseason tilt against the Los Angeles Rams. "I think I got in trouble about it the other day when I said, 'Look, we're not urgent about Ceedee,'" Jones said. "Well, no one appreciates Ceedee being on the field any more than I do. But let me say this, he wouldn't be taking a snap out here today if he'd been here. You've got to use your head when you expose key players." Cowboys owner Jerry Jones clarifies that there isn't any pressure to get Ceedee Lamb's contract done during preseason because they already know what he can do. The bottom line is there's not that urgency. Now, I understand completely the angst that's happening when you're anxious and someone says anything about whether you're missed or not. Well, Ceedee, you're missed, okay? But you're not missed out here competing, and it doesn't put any pressure, any place on us. It's not pressure out here today and in practice. Cowboys know CeeDee Lamb will be ready upon return. Lamb has the support of his Cowboys teammates, notably quarterback Dak Prescott and linebacker Micah Parsons. Both have spoken publicly about Lamb's situation, backing the star pass catcher. Obviously, we miss him, Parsons said, per the Cowboys' official site. He's one of the best people you can have in a locker room. I'm pretty sure he'll be here soon. CeeDee is a part of this brotherhood whether he likes it or not. He knows he's not going anywhere. The business side, they're gonna take care of it, no doubt about it. On week 1, he will be suiting up for the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer echoed that statement and has no concerns about Lamb being ready to go from the jump. CeeDee's going to be ready, Schottenheimer said. If the system was different, that always adds different challenges. He knows what we do. He and Dak Prescott have what I would say are 1,000 or 10,000 banked reps together. The Cowboys open the regular season on September 8 against the Cleveland Browns.